Most people think hackers use advanced tools and zero exploits every time they want to hack a system. No, most of their attack succeeded because of misconfiguration. Now, you see, misconfiguration is one of the top 5 hacking in history. So the first one is phishing and social engineering, while number 5 is misconfiguration. And in cloud, the number 1 hack that has happened in the history of cloud is misconfiguration. So misconfiguration is one of the most important aspects that a cybersecurity beginner must understand, must know, so that they will not make such mistake. And the funniest thing is that all this misconfiguration that we are talking about, they mostly come from you and I. They come from human error, human mistake. Let me give you an example. In 2024, Snowflake organization, they misconfigure some of their platform and they expose about 160 plus organization data to the internet. But they were saved by some researcher that quickly detected it. Another one happened in 2019. That one happened to Capital One organization. This one, they misconfigure some of their database and they expose about 106 million users to the internet. So misconfiguration is one of the most important parts of cybersecurity. Now, what is misconfiguration? You see, when a system is misconfigured, attackers, they don't need to use any tools. They just walk in silently and perform their operation. Imagine in your organization that you are securing, you open RDP ports with a weak password, you open it to the internet. What will hackers do? They'll just brute force it and enter. You open SSH ports with a weak password to the internet. What will hacker do? They'll brute force and get into your server and control the whole organization. So that is what we call misconfiguration. So misconfiguration simply means inaccurate setting in a particular system, which is usually done by what? By human being. So misconfiguration doesn't come from anywhere, it comes from us. So we are the one that actually did not configure what we're supposed to configure. You buy a phone today. On that phone, there is antivirus installed or embedded in it. But they told you when you bought it that make sure you activate the antivirus on that phone. But you did not even care about it. That is misconfiguration. So if hackers want to hack your phone now, that is their major target. They will just walk in easily because nothing to protect your phone or device. So that is what we call misconfiguration. The funniest thing about this misconfiguration is that it is one of the most dangerous attacks that usually happen in cloud. Every blessed day, hackers, they scan the internet to see, maybe they can see some storage that are openly available on the internet. And if they find that storage that is publicly available on the internet, they look if it has weak password or strong password. If it has weak password, they brute force it and they get those organization data sharp. And many of them use tools like Nmap, Nikto, a lot of tools like that. They just scan the internet, or they scan that particular organization, or they brute force that particular organization directly and look for a particular storage or bucket where those organizations store their sensitive data, and they cash out from there. Now, which part of organization can misconfiguration happen? Misconfiguration can happen in on-premises application. It can happen on the cloud. It can happen in the API setting. It can happen in the database. It can also happen in the operating system that particular organization use. It can happen in so many ways based on what they use. Example, in 2021, Microsoft Power App, they exposed 38 million user data because they did not remember to restrict default setting in that particular app. So that shows you how dangerous what misconfiguration is. So misconfiguration can happen anywhere in the world, in organization. Hackers really love misconfiguration because it gives them no stress. They just penetrate into the system and they cash out. And the funniest thing is that if misconfiguration happens in a particular organization or infrastructure, it may take years for that particular organization to discover it. It may take years to discover it because it happens silently. When hackers detect misconfiguration, they walk in quietly and they do the operation. For example, Toyota, they expose customer data for years because of their system error and they did not notice it. So misconfiguration is one of the most dangerous aspects that cybersecurity beginners must take note, must be aware of. Now, what are the solutions to any misconfiguration in any organization? Number one is to apply principle of least privilege. As a cybersecurity beginner or expert, you need to make sure that you apply principle of least privilege, meaning that you only give some certain user what they can have access to. You don't give user wide permission. You only give them little minimum permission that they need at that moment. So that's number one solution. Number two is disable unused ports or unused parts of the application. Disable it to reduce attack surface. You know that in your organization you are not using RDP ports, remote desktop protocol ports. You are not using it. You don't need it to be opened. So in such case, you disable it. If you are not using SSH, you disable it. Any other port you know you are not using, you disable it because that will reduce attack surface. So that is number two solution to misconfiguration. Number three, enforce multi-factor authentication. Maybe you are a database admin, but you log in with your password every day, but you did not remember to put multi-factor authentication. One midnight, hackers will break into that system and you will not know anything. So if you put multi-factor authentication, that will give you another layer of what? Security in that database. Then the last thing you can do is to fix any default setting in that particular app or device you are using. Many of you bought new router, but you did not remember to change default password that came with that router. As a result of that, your neighbor that is very, very good in hacking is already penetrating it. So always change default setting or default password of any device or any app. So that's that about misconfiguration. So misconfiguration is not something that we need to overlook. It is something that we need to give and pay attention to because 80% of misconfiguration happen from what? From human error. So misconfiguration is what we need to take note in cyber security. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video.